Hi, Darrell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I'm here with my friend and colleague Nitin Mehta from Residential Mortgage. Nitin, let's talk about interest rates on everybody's mind right now.
Sure.
It's been as high as in the last, 20
20, 30
years?
years?
Yeah. So where are they right now? Where do you see them going?
Yeah, you're right, Darrell. I mean, interest rates are, and for most people, they haven't seen it that high. People have been used to 3% 3 years ago, 4% at max, and now you're seeing it 7.5% is pretty common.
Right.
And obviously that depends from conventional to FHA, FHA being a bit lower at about 7.1, but still really high, and it's causing a lot of people to sit on the fence and not
Right.
take the lead.
Buyers are hesitating.
Absolutely.
So I'm hearing more about this buying down the rate. So like a 2-1 buy down. Explain what that is.
Sure. So 2-1 buy down essentially is what it's doing is it's telling buyers, hey, your par rate, let's say 7.5%. A 2-1 buy down, what that does for you is you pay some money up front to buy down the rate. So for the first year of the loan, it'll be 2 percentage points lower than 7.5. So the first year you're paying 5.5%. The second year you're paying 6.5%. And in the third year, it goes back to normal, which would be 7.5%, right? But essentially what buyers are doing in that market is they're taking a bet that by the time their 2-year buy down expires, interest rates would have come down
again.
and they can refi from the 7.5 to a 6 or
Right.
a 5.5.
Right.
So yeah, it is essentially a way for them to lower their mortgage payments. But it's a bet on where interest rates are going to go.
So if a seller wanted to offer a concession to the buyer instead of lowering the list price, they could offer a concession for the buyer to help buy down the rate. What would that cost the seller?
Great question, and I think I hesitate to give exact numbers because rates move around daily.
They fluctuate all the time.
All the time, yeah. But for a 1% buy down, it could be anywhere from 20 to 30 grand, depending on the loan amount, depending on a lot of other factors. But a lot of times, if you do the math, a reduction in sales price might not be in the best interest of the buyer. From the buyer's perspective, a lower interest payment monthly might make their money go a long way than just sales price reduction.
Right, because they're going to save over the life of that loan a lot more than that 25 or 50,000.
Absolutely. So if you're not talking about a 2-1 buy down, if you're talking about a 30-year buy down, for example, if you on a $500,000 home, a 1% interest rates means $5,000 in interest payments. $5,000 times 30 is $150,000.
Exactly.
$150,000 in interest payment savings over the lifetime of a loan versus a $25,000 reduction in price. So obviously you can do the math that which scenario wins. But again, it depends on what the buyer wants to do. Do they want to hold on to this house? Do they want to sell it in a couple of years? All those things. But yes, if you can buy down the rate, you should definitely consider it. It is a legitimate option for buyers.
So a seller concession is something these days maybe some sellers need to consider to get their house sold. If you have questions about buy downs, mortgages, get in touch with Nitin. If you need some help buying and selling a home, definitely reach out to me. Put me to work. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Darrell.